And we begin this hour with the Michael Jackson trial, where Senior Deputy District Attorney Rob Zonin is making the prosecution's closing argument. And MSNBC's Jennifer London is standing by for us at that courthouse in Santa Maria, California. Good afternoon to you, Jennifer.
Hi to you, Alex. Prosecutor Ron Zonin began his closing argument today by saying this is a case of exploiting a young cancer survivor at the hands of an international celebrity. Zonin is speaking in a strong, clear, steady voice. He stands and faces the jury directly, and he told them this morning there are two themes he wants them to consider as they hear his closing arguments. The first theme, Zonin says Michael Jackson inserted himself into the lies of the accuser and his family, not the other way around. Zonin says Michael Jackson put the accuser and his brother into the documentary and was, quote, oblivious to the consequences. The second theme Zonin talked about, he said the accuser's mother never asked Michael Jackson for money, not then and not now. Zonin then read part of the opening statement that the defense gave during their opening statement given by lead defense attorney Tom Mesereau. That statement read in part, an opening statement is a contract. I'm going to make some promises in this case. I'm going to fulfill them, and I want you to judge me accordingly. Again, this is what Tom Mesereau said to the jury at the beginning of the trial. Prosecutor Ron Zonin then began to pick apart all of the, what he called, broken promises by Tom Mesereau. For example, he said the mother never asked comedian George Lopez or Jay Leno for money. And Zonin said the defense said that Mike Tyson and Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey were also part of this master plan, this shakedown by the accuser's mother. And Zonin said, well, where were they? They never came in to testify. And also the prosecutor going to the heart of the accuser's mother's credibility and saying, yes, she did make a false claim when she made her welfare application. He said it was, quote, a bad mistake and it should not have happened. The prosecution also, unlike in opening statements, did use some visual aids this morning.
He also used very effective visuals in the opening statement, particularly a slide in which he had Michael Jackson dangling his child, Michael Jackson with the accuser's head on his shoulder, all these very disturbing images for the jury. And while those images were up, the prosecutor went into his case against Michael Jackson.
Court is just getting back into session after the first morning break, and Alex, the prosecution has been given up to 4 hours for their closing arguments.
I imagine it'll be the same for the defense as well. All right, MSNBC's Jennifer London, thank you very much for that report.